Have you heard of FingoBox.com? It's a new kind of database. You don't need a server to connect to the database. It's API based, so you can access it from the front end. You can save, get, update, or delete data directly from your front end using API calls. It only takes about 5 minutes to get up and running. Watch this video to see how it works. Your first step, if you haven't already, is to go to FingoBox.com. It's free to sign up. There's no credit card required. You can come down here to fill out this sign up form. Click sign up free. That'll take you to a page like this. You'll want to click this create a database button. And the way you create database tables, it's super simple. First, you give it a name. Say you want to create a users database. So I'm going to say users. And then you type the columns you want in your database. And if you come down here, it explains how that works. Basically, there's 3 data types. There's strings, there's numbers, and there's Booleans. You'll want to type your database columns in using key value pairs. The key is the column name. The value is the data type. And so here's an example that you can just copy if you want. Its username is a string, user age is a number, user is human is Boolean. Maybe this is a bot and you want to say false, something like that. So you can copy that. This is just an example. You can separate these using commas, and that's all you have to do to create a database table in your database. So I'm going to go ahead and click this create table. All right, it says it was successfully created. Your next step, if you made a mistake or something like that, you can come here to this update page. Maybe I meant to say user is a pet instead of user is human. You could change that, come here, update it. And then some other places to point out is this is the API page. This is where you can go to view the APIs. So if you look at the APIs, this here shows you how to post new data to your database. This shows you how to get all the rows in your database table using an API GET request. This shows you how to get a single row in your database table using an API GET request. And this API put request would allow you to update your tables. And this API delete request allows you to delete your tables. The last page before we go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and go through this with you. We'll go ahead and create some data and we'll get it. The last page I want to show you though is this notes page. A lot of times when I'm creating a database, I like to create like a seed file. So I'll say something like seed. And here, a lot of times I like to create kind of an outline for my databases first before creating them. So if you like to do the same thing, you could come here, say something like users, and then here you could say user, you could say user ID is a number, something like that. Which reminds me, so anyway, you can make notes here. That reminds me though, with creating the table, you might be wondering, well, what about dates? What if I want to add a timestamp to a column? Well, we automatically add dates for you, so you don't have to worry about it. You'll see in a second, when we get one of the tables that we post, it'll automatically have a timestamp attached to it. It'll also automatically have a serial primary key attached to it. So a lot of times you would like to use a serial primary key as like a user ID or something like that. Well, each one of your rows already has a serial primary key, so you don't even have to worry about that. And we'll go ahead and jump in. We'll post some data and get it, and we'll go ahead and use Postman to do it. So let's come back to this API page. Click Show API. We'll go ahead and post some data. So I'm going to bring up Postman, and we'll do a post request. Copy this link up here. Come over here. And then you can come to the body. I'm going to say raw, and then JSON. I'm going to post JSON. I'll copy this, and you'll notice in blue here, you'll need to update this. This is just an example. you'll need to update it with your table column names and values. But your app ID, your app token, your database ID is already put in there for you. So you don't have to change that. So I'll go ahead and copy this whole post request. I'll paste it right there. And I'll replace these with my table names and values. So here I'll change this top one to username, and I'll go ahead and give it my name. I'll say TJ McCarty. The next one is user age. I'll go ahead and update this. I'm about to be 33. I can't believe it, but I'm not quite there yet. So I'm 32. So I'll go ahead and put 32. And user is a pet. We'll find out if I'm a pet or not. Maybe I'm an animal. I don't know. I'll just go ahead and say true. Why not? Okay, let's post it. All right. It says the post was successful. So let's go ahead and get it. Let's find what's been posted so far. So I'll start a new tab. This will be a GET request. I'll just paste that right there. You'll notice your app ID, app token, database ID, they're already in there for you. And there you go. You can see each one of your rows, they already come with a primary key. And there's a date timestamp already attached. And then your columns are in here. This is where you get your columns. And let's say we just, well, first to show you, I'll put in some other names as maybe Tim McCarty, say 55, and false. Let me just put in a couple more rows, post a couple more rows. Jesse McCarty, 26. I'll just change his name to 26, say it's false. All right, and so let's do this GET request again. All right, so you'll see it returns all of them in an array full of objects. But say we just want to get one row based on a column value. Well, that's what this next GET request is. It's a GET request based on a column name value pair. So we'll just go ahead and go through this together just to show you how it works. So I'll do a new GET request, and you'll notice it's sort of like SQL. It says select from, it already has your app ID, app token, database ID there, where your column name equals your column value. So if I come back here, say I want to get all of the ones where the user is a pet is equal to false. So let me come back here. I'll replace this your column name with user is a pet. And I'm going to say the column value, I want to get all the users where it's equal to true. That should return just one. And there it is. There's just one is equal to true. Let me say false now. All right, and it returns all of the values in the database equal to false. And we'll go ahead and update some data here. So if you want to ever update a value, you can send a put request. This is the link. And in the body, this is an example. But again, here you'll need to update the column values, the keys and the properties based on your table keys or properties. And it's really important that it's the right data type. For example, if you say user age and you type in a string when it's supposed to be a number, it won't work. So you'll need to use an actual number. If it's a number, string, if it's a string, Boolean, if it's a Boolean. But let's go ahead and update a row. So you can go raw JSON data. Oops. Let me come back here and I'll copy this. Again, your app ID, app token, database ID is already there. You'll need to get your database row ID. This comes whenever you get your any values, it automatically comes with a row ID. So I'm going to get this one number 8, which is the one about me. And so I'll say data row ID is 8. And I'm gonna go ahead and I need to update the values again. So I'll say username here, user age here, and user is a pet here. And I'm gonna switch this back to TJ McCarty. I'm gonna keep that at 32. And I'm gonna switch this to true. I wanna say, or actually, I'm gonna switch this to false. Because in the other one I say true, I wanna say, okay, I'm actually a human, I'm not an animal. So I'm gonna say false. All right, so the put request was successful. So let's get it again. It should say false this time. And it does. There you go. And the very last request is the delete request. So say you want to delete one of your rows, be very careful. This cannot be undone. You'll just want to use this and put your data row ID there. So, oops, let me come back here. I'll switch this to a delete request. And the data row ID, I'll delete this Jesse one. So data row 10. So let's come here, say 10. All right, the delete was successful. Let me come back here, make sure it's gone. And it is. So there you go. That's how the how FingoBox works. There's going to be more post calls coming soon. So you'll want to make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon. We'll come out with more videos. We'll use this in creating actual apps, and a lot more features is coming. But the last thing I'll point out here is you can come up here to update your name. I'm going to say FingoBox example. And then from then on out, whenever you log in, your database will be there waiting for you. And yeah, so that's how it works. If you like how this new API-based database management system is set up, please let me know in the comments below. If there's any kind of features you would like added to this, let me know in the comments below. I created this because I create a lot of mobile apps, and I hate, as a mobile app developer, having to create a server just so I can connect to a database. And so that was honestly the point behind FingoBox.com. is I created this out of a personal need. I would personally love this product just to be able to, anytime I'm building a super simple app, instead of building out a server, connecting to the database, all I need to do is use this API call. And I can connect to the database, do anything I would need. If there's any additional features you would like, I really want to hear it. Please let me know in the comments below. We always here at FingoBox love to hear user feedback and would love to add in the features that you request. So please, if you want, if you like this service, if you wish there was something different about it, you want some additions, please just let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, please like this. It helps us with the algorithms. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon. We come out with videos all the time, and I'll see you next time.